editor. So zoom in. Of course, it's the wrong side, so we have to change over to here. And then we have that echo. Get rid of that. Hey, I think we're starting our stream on YouTube. I had the wrong key. I have the right key now. Let's see how this works. We're starting our stream on YouTube. Yes. I had the wrong key. I have the right key now. Look it. I'm on YouTube live. Let's see how this works. We're starting our stream on YouTube. Oh, yes. I had the wrong key. I have the right key now. Let's see. Look it. I'm on YouTube live. Let's see how this works. We're starting our stream on YouTube. Oh, yes. Everybody's talking all at once. So I had to stop all these extra streams. And I can have a chat window here, and I can have chat over here on the YouTube channel too. So greetings. This is the first time I've done a live stream. Let's see here. Say something. Hi. Hi, everybody. First ever live stream for my channel. Get used to it. Oh, and it'd probably be help if I showed. Let's see. There's an interface that we're going to be working with. Yep. And this can be minimized because I don't need to see the preview, so that's good. So I'm hey, good to see all you guys. Look at all these. Okay, so go to the YouTube channel here. I'll pop the key up. This is where you go if you want to chat, because I'm just going to watch this chat. I'm not going to watch the chat on the live stream, but go here to see and chat on YouTube. All right. So I'm working on OMG drums. So we're going to be doing that together. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to go to Facebook and tell my Facebook Plug and Groove friends that they can come join if they want. So this is exciting. I'll come see what you guys are saying. I bet there's something being said over on YouTube. So I'm live on YouTube for the first time. Come say hi. All right. And maybe they can even click that to watch it from the I have a Facebook page, just so you know. Plug and Groove /Facebook. And people, you can contact me directly from there, all that kind of stuff. Hi, guys. All these guys saying hi. It's so cool. So here's the plan. The plan is I'm working on OMG Drums Volume 2. I'll show you a little bit of OMG Drums Volume 1 just to show you the concept. This is the most advanced programming I am aware of for Omnisphere. And it takes a long time to do one of these. It doesn't take anywhere near the amount of time it takes to make something for the Korg Kronos. I will tell you that because I did that for many years and love that work, but that is an awful lot of work because you have all the hardware to assign and all that stuff as well. But basically, what these are, so I have these libraries. It's the first drum kit library for Omnisphere. If you own Omnisphere and you've always wished you had really cool drum sounds to play in Omnisphere, this is the place you can go to get them. First of all, the original, like if we go to, this is Blastem. So if we go to the original, which is here on Break Tweaker, and we go to, this is up at the top. This is, it's not dance, it's Blastem right here. So this is the original in Break Tweaker. Right? And we've programmed up all these different patterns. We do 11 patterns that are using 6 samples. You can see down here, this is the keyboard. This is an interface inside of Logic Pro. Everybody always asks me, if you go to the environment, the MIDI environment, you can set up really easily, smooth for a second so you see, there's a place that says clicks and ports, and here's your input This is describing your physical hardware that you have for MIDI interface into the sequencer. Sequencer input is actually the last, but I hide it over here. But you can draw and you can have objects, you can have sliders and stuff. That's all built into Logic. So when you see this keyboard, it's not a separate program. Everybody thinks it's a separate program. It's not. Okay, just so we're clear. This will show you the keys that I play. The bottom 6 notes, 1, 2, actually it's chromatic, right? 1, 3, 4. Those 6 notes equal the 6 samples that are part of Break Tweaker. You only get 6 samples, 6 tracks, and then when you program it, here's, see the snare part here? So if I solo this, okay, and I can add the kick, right? So I can have all this stuff going on. When I play number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is a fill. And each one of these gets more complex. So Break Tweaker has the great crazy timing stuff. We can't transfer that to Omnisphere, but we can transfer these 6 samples. So I make these kits, blast them kit. There they are. And so on top of that, then you go to the loop, and the loop is where I've taken each of those six samples is its own separate arpeggiator to play. Here's the kick drum part. It's a whole different thing because it now plays on the keyboard. There's the original. Right? So I couldn't do the crazy timing stuff that you hear inside of the Break Tweaker version. That's unique to it, but like if we go to the kit, I think this is the scratch. Up, yeah. And each one of these, I can have a keyboard tracking of pitch on or off. So when you come to the bass sounds, I have it on. And when you come to the kick, snare, the kick drum, snare, I said yes. So as you play with the keyboard, I mean, it's really fun to play with these. But I took things a step further. So this is where we get super deep because I now can set up, Omnisphere has the power. This is crazy to imagine this. So there's these 6 parts. Each part has an arpeggiator connected to it that's playing the drum part for the hi-hat, snare, kick, etc. When you go to multi-mode and you turn on stack mode, you can go to the groove mode, well, I call it groove mode, where I take those 6 and I now map those down to the bottom of the keyboard. And Omnisphere has an ability called Latch. And if you turn on Latch mode, you just right click on each one of these, or you can actually go over to the live mode and see things here, whether something is latched on and all that kind of stuff. But I have these set to Latch, so when I play low C, it starts playing these 6 drum sounds. And I hit that note again and it stops it. So I've built a drum machine into Omnisphere. And then above that, I can jam. And then this is where it all goes insane, because this is where you really realize the power of Omnisphere. All my patches, I program so that the modulation wheel does crazy things to the sounds. Here, I'm having it so that it's doing crazy things to each one of these 8 sounds simultaneously. So when I play this groove, and now I move the mod wheel. Here's a change in pitch. Kick drum goes away. There's reverb, delays. And the synth sounds changed. So this is where the just, oh my God, moment comes with Omnisphere, because I am programming and manipulating 8 patches simultaneously in real time with no sequencing going on. And you can do this too. It's not that hard to set up. So we're going to be doing this programming tonight. So strap your brain down, because you're going to... so here's Get Grimy. I'll show you one more. So here's the kit. Let's do a dubstep. Yeah, this is dubstep. Let's do another one. Let's do Convict. This is one I did that I love very much. So here it is in Break Tweaker. And I'm not checking chat. I'll check chat in a minute, but I want to just kind of move on this a little bit. So here's Convict in Break Tweaker. Here's what it sounds like. I can play the different notes for the grooves. Right? And here's the 6 samples. Love that snare. Okay. I can go to Omnisphere, and I have the Convict kit. And I have those same samples. And then I made the loop, which copies those 6 parts to be... But it transposes, because as I went through it, I turned on and off the key tracking for which parts I wanted to track. Let's say I wanted the, well, I like them all. Like I didn't want, there's some, this guy. Let's have him transpose and take him on pitch. Let's turn this up. Let's put a huge reverb on this for fun. This is the fun. It's all components. Okay. So then here is the groove, and the grooves, all bets are off. I'm not even sure. I can't remember what exactly I did, but we'll find out. So we have, oh, it's a split. So we have the groove. We have a bass. Oh, I remember this one. Mod wheel. Can break it down. Anyway, so that's the fun. And my computer slowed down, so I have a feeling things got out. So what's going on in chat? We got lots of people here. I don't even know how many people are here chatting. 27 are watching. Cool. Good to see you all. Welcome. This is the first time I've done a live stream on YouTube. I thought I would. I do a live stream every Saturday at 12 o'clock Pacific time on livestream.com/pluginguru. But I wanted to see if I could get YouTube to work. I haven't gotten a live stream to work. So this is the first time to do, what bank is this? This is my library called OMG Volume 1. And these are drum samples and then complex programming to the absolute farthest levels of anything I have seen. I haven't seen anybody go this deep. I have a drum machine built into Omnisphere that you can turn on and off with these 6 samples that are playing each arpeggiated patterns. And then I have a BPM pulsing And I did this. Anytime you see groove, every one of these is a different groove of 6 drums. If you go to era, it will load up 6 different drum sounds with a different groove. Oh, and this is supposed to be slow. In fact, I put the tempo speed right here in the loop. So this is 90. So if we say 90. So the mod wheel can radically change everything. Stuff you can't do with a drum machine. I don't know any other place I could go to do this, really. So I had Airwave do some of these. It's just so crazy how these turned out. Here's one tribe. This is another hip hop one. What was the tempo? 67. So let's slow down 67. It's fun to review. I haven't played these in a while, but. Oh, well, I'm ready. Tons of reverb. Spring. Ooh, stinky. So this library is, I mean, I love all the libraries. They're like my kids. I can't pick a favorite, but this is so much fun for you to sit down and just call up one thing without needing anything else and jam your ass off. I can't think of anything more fun than OMG drums for Omnisphere, because you have all of these things here. This one is 128, so we go 128. Just jam away with each one of these. It's different. I've used different techniques. Oh, here's the loop. So we'll do this party time. Here's the kit. So you can sequence your own groove if you so desire. Or you can go to the loop, and if we're at 100 beats per minute, after it loads, play one note, and it will trigger. And I tuned it, just so you know. She went to the bound. It's just so badass to jam with. So then from here you can take it to the groove, and then I'm going to explain one more thing that we do. This is where it's got the groove down here. A party woofer bass. Mod wheel, what's it gonna do? Chill, man, I need a ton of smoke in the room right now. But here's the thing. So after I've gotten these to this point and I've saved it as this multi with all this cool shit going on, I take this and I disassemble it backwards. So my process that we're going to start is I start with the drum kit that's doing... I have to go to Break Tweaker. I'm just telling you this. A lot of you guys are going to miss out because people come later and stuff like that. But this was... What's this one called? I get so hyper playing this stuff because I love it so much. Party Time. So Party Time groove... If we go down here, this is part. So, and OMG drums for Break Tweaker is all this stuff: dance, chill, dubstep, hip hop, trance, trap. This is Party Time. Yeah. And remember, the thing with the Break Tweaker is you can play this note, no snare drum. F sharp will always be no snares. G will always be no kick. She went back to my place. Back to my place. Then E sharp or D sharp, E and F are fills. So you can jam. The whole idea, Break Tweaker, the factory patches, there's some interesting stuff in there, but all the factory stuff, you don't know what you're going to get on the notes. Everything on the Break Tweaker library, it's set up. You know that no matter what I go to, if I go to another groove, I know when I play. Let's go to a trance one because this is when we work. I love these. Airwave did these. So these are using Airwave samples and trance, whole different world. But I know when I play this one, no kick, and when I play this one, there's gonna be no snare. So I can go to any of these grooves and use them right away. So that I'm being too much of a salesperson. So I took these 6 samples, right? And then we're gonna listen to this groove, and then I go to Omnisphere and I take these samples and I make what's called the loop, which does. I had it do that same groove. But now it's on a keyboard so I can transpose around. Right? And then the Party Time groove that I showed you was that groove. But then I put the sub bass down here, and then I made a no sound from scratch in Omnisphere, doing all sorts of BPM pulsing, trippy, mod wheel. Changes it to that. Okay, so my job, what I'm going to do tonight, if I ever get to it, I'm having too much fun. Hey, so there's 27 of you watching. Cool. I'm going to be taking grooves that are starting as kits, and I'm going to try to program them up. It's kind of like watch me do an acrobatic act. We'll see how this goes. But the goal is to eventually get to this. And I just thought I'd invite you guys to come along and watch. So let's get started. So what we're going to do, I am now in the OMG Volume 2 library. I'm going to go to Air Breaks Volume 2. And we need to go to Break Tweaker. And we need to call up the Airwaves Volume 2. This is on the dance. Air Breaks Volume 2. The Airwave one. Okay. So I need to program that into Omnisphere. So the first thing we do is we tell these samples to no longer be limited to just a certain note. They're all going to be playing at the same time eventually. So we go like this. And then I'm going to go over to the mixer and just hit solo to make it easy. Go over here to the kick. Everywhere I play on the keyboard, it's the kick, right? Go to the arpeggiator, turn it on. Let's see what we got. That's not going to help. So, with all volume 1 of OMG drums, I included starters and all the kick patterns and all the snare patterns from all of the grooves. So you can just call these up and change them on things. And I might maybe start with one of these. Maybe hip hop kind of. And I'm not going to know anything until I go to 2. And let's do this. Let's do it the opposite direction. Let's mute these guys so we add them to the mix. Now the snare plays every time, right? Turn it on. And then we need to go down here to the presets. I'm going to just go here and I have snare on 2 and 4s. So I have a hip hop kick pattern. Nope. Oh, and this was probably done from MIDI. Yeah, it was because it's got this tight feel. You can actually drag a MIDI file into the arpeggiator, just drag it right here, and it will give you the exact same groove. In fact, in a lot of times, I had to sequence it and make the MIDI file. I'm not going to do that for this one because this is pretty straight ahead. But let's do this. Instead of doing that pattern, let's just have it do... And let's listen one more time. And we're at 130. I want to slow that down a little bit so I hear it a little bit. Okay, we can do that. Doom. Think a little upbeat here. I might bring up the swing to get a little bit to be swingier. Okay, now we can bring in the hi-hat part. And that hi-hat part was doing what? Let's solo it. That's what it's doing. Okay, so what's it doing in Omnisphere? It's ringing a long time, I believe. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make it shorter. And then go to the arpeggiator and turn it on. And go down here to my handy dandy starters and just say quarter notes. On the floor. Okay. So I'm building my drum groove in Omnisphere. Isn't that cool? So let's add. Okay. That's pretty straight ahead. So we go to the shaker part. Part 4. Ah, it's already on 16th notes, I believe. Oh, I have to unmute it too. Oh. That don't sound right, does it? Okay, this is some of the fun stuff because I get to program things around. Let's listen to it over here. Solo. Ah, there's a noise element kind of thing to it. I don't know why I didn't sample that in the first place. Because I originally sampled these out of Break Tweaker. But I want that vibe. So let's go over here. Get a little bit faster so we match. Am I on the right part? Let me make sure. Yep. So go to part 4. Turn on. Oh, sorry. Let's get this. And we're going to need to go to the arpeggiator to make it shorter. I don't hear much of a attack. Do you? I don't. So let's have. Let's go to the envelope. Okay. I want this to be stereo. Let's compare the noise sound. Like a shaker. Okay, I can do that. There's also this velocity thing happening, so let's go doom, doom. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. And I want less hi-hat. I still feel hi-hat. I don't want hi-hat. So let's go here. Compare it to Break Tweaker. Let's combine both. Let's go here and look. This is another trick you have to do sometimes. You have to bring this up to change your curvature. Out. To get the curve exactly how you want it. Okay. Yeah, it's $4.99 for Omnisphere. Best investment you can make. I'm sorry, there's amazing synthesizers everywhere, but this is like the power of a Kronos and then some, with 40 plus gigabytes of samples in your pocket, and it can do so many amazing sounds. So okay, so we're close. So that's there. Here it is in Break Tweaker. So we gotta get the tom in and add that. Gee, these really complicated parts. Boom. And I'll worry about pitch in a minute. That's. Oh, and I remember this tom sample rings forever, so we're gonna have to fix that. So the samples, the way that they sounded and the way they ended up being used in Break Tweaker is different. For example, if you notice, you hear that tom, it rings forever and then goes away. But in the groove, it's short. But when I sampled it, I wanted the whole sample because I knew that I would go in and tweak it and be able to do maybe other things in Omnisphere later, and I didn't want to. So, part 5, turn on the arpeggiator pattern. Let's clear it because this would be pretty easy to do. And we'll just say it's going to repeat. That, and it needs to be twice as long, and let's get it to not ring for 5 years, shall we? Oh, it's gotta be 16th, is it? There it is. There it is. And I'm not worrying about the total volume mix yet. We can fix that, because remember, every one of these patches has available 4 effects here, as well as the common effects, which I have EQ, compression, and distortion on already as default, so that I have some default things set up for the sounds, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. I don't know. We'll see. And then the last thing is the deep, 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 the little chippy thing. So let's go over here and that. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go quarter notes or eighth notes, because it's an eighth note pattern, right? Okay. So that's basically what we have as the groove. not quite there yet, is it? So we need to go to part 6. Let's shorten this art pattern. Yeah, it's really short, really short. Okay. It's not any bit of a triangle to it whatsoever. That's a little loud. Okay. Now, currently, all the parts are set to not transpose across the keyboard. I could turn on parts. And I will do that. We just need to pick out what parts we want to have. Interesting. Oh, it's tuned to E8. That's why. I'm like, why is it so low? It's because it's tuned to E8. So if I take this up. And then so I'll decide at some point, maybe not right now, which parts are going to be and the snare I need to have, it needs to be snappier, more snap. And it's dry, right? That's one thing that's bugging me. So let's go to the snare, solo it. Can't have it ring out. Go to the compressor or snap. EQ. This is something I will have to check with my speakers later. It's really hard to do this. But that's close enough. So I'm going to go save this multi. This is Dance Air Brakes 2 loop. Okay, so this is the loop version of Dance, and I'll save this. I'll come back and fill this all in, maybe with some more details later if I need to. But let's get to the next step. I'm gonna check chat real quick. Do you guys have any questions? Got Omnisphere a couple weeks ago and learned a lot from you. My pleasure, guys. Last time I played with Omnisphere was about 6 years ago. You might want to come back. Version 2 of Omnisphere is very powerful in that it now can load your own samples. It's a single sample at a time that it can load into a patch. So like these are the drum sounds for this. I have other libraries where I've done like guitar sounds and all sorts of things. I'm not gonna, I could easily break into showing you stuff like that, but that. So how's the CPU load? So far pretty good. If I go like this and like this, you can see it's hardly anything at this point. And this is with distortion and EQ and a compressor on each of these 6 tracks. Now, when I get to the, oh, I'm in patch mode. If I go to one of the multis, the grooves in, say, part 1, which are using lots of parts, and it's playing synth parts, it's doing all this stuff. Remember also, I'm streaming live to you guys on the same computer. So that's also how many years of Omnisphere to understand what you're doing and can do to it. My video channel has a ton of videos dedicated to Omnisphere. It's not that difficult to understand and to use. The cool thing, I'll tell you real quickly, is that you can right click on anything and modulate and even see a list of all the 6 envelopes, all the 4 mod envelopes, or 6 LFOs. You can see stuff very quickly. You have magnifying glasses on all sorts of places. So if the ADSR envelopes, that's good for some things, but if you want to get in and do multi-segment, crazy timing, really crazy stuff, you can do it. You can drag MIDI files over the envelope and it will play them. It's insane. And so I have, how many libraries now, guys? These are all libraries that I have created for Omnisphere. And there's also, and I haven't repeated myself yet. One of the guys just released volume 2 of Saberspheres. So Saberspheres volume 2. Let's see if we go initialize this multi. I'll show you just a couple of things real quick. I wish I was getting a commission for every Omnisphere I've sold. My God. I did a library. This will show you really kind of the fun stuff. This is Mega Magic Dreams. So this is where I imported my own samples that have reverb on them. So I could say, instead of an acoustic bass, it's just an acoustic bass. Here it's. But then I was like, that's really cool. And so I did all these sounds with reverb that just rings out forever. Because I only have one sample. And if you're going to try to map one sample across the keyboard, if it's short, it sounds like crap up high and it falls apart down low. So by having huge reverb, it became this thing that's playable. And it's also a really cool technique because baking reverb into a sample is different than if I was to have 14 seconds of reverb, let's say on my voice. Let's go to my voice real quick. And I go, boom, let's say reverb. Let's just say even their stupid cheap platinum reverb, right? And I have the reverb size like really big and really wet like this. Let's see if we can get it to be bigger, like this, like this. So it's really muddy, and if I talk, you hear all that mud. But if I was to record that reverb just into one sample, when I play other samples, it's not going to re-trigger that reverb because it's in the sample. So every sample, or every note, it's not interacting like if I had a reverb of that kind of intensity on it. So Mega Magic Dreams was the first library I did with this concept. These are the ones I'm probably the most proud of. A lot of customers tell me their favorite one is the Mega Magic Guitars. So I'm going to show you that, and then we'll go back to the drum stuff. But Mega Magic Guitars is really cool because, like the OMG stuff, I really pushed in some different directions. I only have, well, here, I'll just show you. So if I call up, say, Steel 6. One sample, oh, all of a sudden it's slow down audio-wise. You're still, wow. One sample can be windowed, like I showed you for the drum kits and the drum sounds. But here, instead of being a drum sound, it's a guitar sample. Well, here, I'll play dry first so you can hear. Here's your dry samples if you were just, and it's 6 samples, so. And they're nice samples. We record them in a nice studio. I wasn't even going to include these originally, but then they came, I was like, that's really nice. But there's sample libraries with 5,000 frickin' samples across the keyboard with bends and glitches for contact, and I can't compete with that. With 6 samples or even 8 samples, because you can do up to 8 patches, each with its own sample, you can't compete with that. So what I can do is I can put huge, beautiful, lush reverb on the sounds. And now it rings out, and it's this really unique sound. Then I can program the crap out of it because I have velocity, changing envelope segments, the filters, so you can... And this is 6 patches to make this one sound. There's other sounds like the sitar that came out really cool. See it load up real quick. It's just a cool effect. So Omnisphere, love it. So let's get back to where we are, because I could go on a tangent and show you all my libraries, and that's not well. Just to get you guys really crazy. This is stuff that we did for Airwave Volume 2. This is psy-trance crazy stuff. Play one note. Now I need to transpose my keyboard down. So you can go to crazy places with Omnisphere. So I'm playing. Stop that. Oh, D's still playing. So I've got, in this library, Airwave wanted it so he could play these live when he's doing his DJ sets. And so he's got different notes for turning on the kick drum. So he can have those happening, and then up above, right for the snare. 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, where's the snare? He's got different notes. Oh, it's right. You get the idea. So crazy stuff, really fun. Each one of these is different. Oh, this is another one that's anyway, they're so fun to play with. So I'm doing a similar thing, but it's slightly different for the OMG stuff. So here we go back to air brake loops. Let me show you how we take it the next step. Okay, so this is the next crazy step. When are you going to release the Korg Corgo Meg Magico Soundo Benko? Very diverse libraries with BPM stuff. Yes, we have a lot of libraries that are all over the place. There's a chill library that's really great that came out great. There's Image Score Galactic, which is cool. Very proud of every library we've done. They're different. OmniX is all analog BPM pulsing, crazy, cool. Sounds like you have like modular analog stuff in the room. And this is done by Tim Dale. This is done by Tim Dale. Who has a new library we just released, and it's actually on sale on the website. So if you go to Plugin Guru, you can get it for $28 instead of $35. And is this Omnisphere Volume 2? It's got all this cool guitar stuff. Cool. Oh, that's right. He was really getting into the distorted guitars and stuff. So. all sorts of fun stuff here. And you see my CPU dying. That's because we're calling it 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 patches. Yeah, that will kill my computer. But you get the idea. So let me get back to I get so distracted. And I think when doing a YouTube, I can't watch you guys because you'll distract me even more than I'm supposed to be distracted, right? So this is Air Breaks 2 loop. We've got the groove. And it's tuned, sort of. I'll finalize the tune and the mix and stuff. But now we're ready to take it to the next step, where I'm going to have these sounds be sent down here. So first thing we need to do, turn off key tracking for all of these parts. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I can tune my kick. Okay. Then we go to the multi mode and I window these down so that they catch C, but not C sharp. So that way I can I have to do it one at a time. I can't do them all at once. By doing this, I have now created a groove that plays when I play C, but the rest of the keyboard, totally silent. Doesn't make any sound right now, so get this over here because we don't need to see that. You guys can see the keys. See, no sound there. So we're going to first set this up. So there's a couple ways to do it. Setting this to live mode is, see how I did this because I used to set this up. I can set on Latch and I can turn on the Latch button for all 6 and I can choose the timing and I'm going to say 16th notes. And it's important you do this because if I add any BPM stuff up to the upper part of the keyboard, this helps it all kind of sync to its internal clock, and then if you sequence it to an external sequencer and quantize, it'll all be nice timing wise. I can turn live mode off. I don't need live mode anymore, but I need to turn stack mode on. And stack mode is what you use to tell it to ignore the MIDI channel. Normally, when stack mode is off, each one of these slots equal a MIDI channel. See, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's your output assignment if you want to change something to a different output in your mixing environment. But when you go over and you turn on stack mode, typically it only turns on 4. But because I have all these 6 parts already, it turned on all 6. And then I can come down here and I can say add 7 and add 8. And I'm going to tell this one probably to be, we'll do this as a split just to make it simple. So we're going to go up there. Actually, you know what? I should do this just to make it. The next patch should be the bass, and then we'll do synth. And go to 7. It doesn't make any sound, so I'm going to say initialize this patch. And 8. Initialize this patch. Careful you don't say initialize multi, or you'll be very sad. And let's have part 8 be a sine wave, just so I know where the 2 are at. So I have the drums, and they start playing, and I play C again, and they stop. That's because Latch is turned on. Yay. Then I have a bass. And then I have a sine wave. So I want this to go to here, but not C. And then starting at C, okay, I have my flow for what I think I want to do to this. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. You guys are having a nice discussion. Cool. No one in the game of selling libraries gives you the depth of patches, the depth of teaching and programming and value that Don does. Thank you. Oh, that's my buddy E. Big E. Big E. Wow, dude. Good to see you. I have the best customers on the planet. If you're not a customer of mine, please be a customer of mine. Thank you. I appreciate it. That way I can be nice to you too. Love my customers. So what do we want to do to this? It's got a kind of heavy bass. I actually could mess up the pattern. People saying Big E. Everybody say Big E. Give Big E a Big E. He was at the Final Four, and I think he went to the final game too. He works at Nike. He's out here in Beaverton. So everybody say Big E in the house. That'll make him happy. He's cool. He gets me golf clubs. He got me this really cool driver. Nike driver that's just unbelievable. Gotta go golfing, dude. Golfing time soon, right? Big shout outs to Big E. Oh, I love the internet. Okay, so I'm gonna mess up the pattern. So here's how we can mess up the pattern. Really easy. I have volume 1 already installed. So I can just go to all of these kick patterns and call up one. And it doesn't change anything else sound-wise. It's just the arpeggio pattern. I kind of like that. The only thing you got to be careful of is this. I like that. And let's say, so I want to hear my little quarter note thing. And let's do this. Since I'm going to have a bass, I'm going to make this decision right now. I'm not going to have this kick drum ringing out with a pitch for this groove because I want to have a bass played with it and I don't want to be conflicting with that. So this is a case where I'm going to take this, I'm going to shape this. So I'm going to add a segment. And I want to take the tom. All right, that's a good start. That kick to hit a little harder. Let's do this. Let's solo this sound for a second. Solo. And the tom. Because I want to find something fun to do with these guys. So part 6. Auto bass. That's what we called it? Oh, okay. I think maybe the wave shaper would be cool. And I think instead of this, we should have a delay on it. And I'm going to have the mod wheel controlling the brightness of that. I don't want to modulate this. All right, let me see. Let's go to the tom sound now. I want to have a pitchy G on this. So let's modulate this with pitchy G4. That's kind of cool. Just use the stock stair stepper. I have never done it before. So I want to go like that. And then check this out. I'm going to have... Actually, I want to do this. I want to do it over here on the A layer effects. And then I'm going to have this go immediately into a filter. I'm going to modulate this with that same LFO. There you go. Now that, when I put it with the groove, cool. Let's tune it. Well, I'll tune it once I know what my bass parts are doing. I might even have to go into these steps and like adjust those to be the right intervals that I want. Don't know yet, but I like that direction. So now I need to come up with some kind of interesting bassing. Let's go to samples. I'm going to use just Spectrasonics libraries. I won't use any of my libraries. I'll be a good boy. Bass. Let's see what we've got for bass. Bass marimbas, no. Bode. You know what? You know what I'm thinking? That's kind of cool. I have to tune it and stuff, and I'm going to layer it, and it will be different, but I like that vibe. So we will need a high pass filter. So let's just go get that over with. Maybe 24 dB. Oh, that's interesting. I just want that cool vibey stuff. Maybe we'll add a little bit more noise to it with the wave shaper. And I might need to tune it up. Let's see what we get on layer B. We're going to use a waveform. And we're going to go into the analog deep. I know already. Down an octave. Now let's tune this cymbal thing. This more of a sub. Let's make it mono. Anytime you use long sustain on a bass that's going to ring out a long time, it's a good idea to use solo. So that way it is a monophonic sound, so it doesn't, if I play like, it's all muddy and layered. If I go like this, only one gets to play. So That's how I make it so you can do clean bass lines. Hey, Michael, good night, buddy. Got to see. We'll do this again. This is my first live stream on YouTube. I'm excited to get to do it. Yeah. I just want to, my goal is for you guys to have as much knowledge in my brain before I die. I don't know why people try to keep their secrets in their head and never share them, because we all will build better houses if we have better architect knowledge, you know? So music, same thing. The more you know here, I really want you guys to be able to sit down and look at the tools on a synthesizer screen and still be a creative artist and not stuck in techno hell. Okay, that's my goal. That's why I do all these videos. I make kick-ass sounds. I sell them reasonably. I teach videos because I want you guys to have the tools and the knowledge to do your own thing and stay artistic to yourself and not have to go to techno parameter hell. So that's where we're at. And get back to my cymbal sound. And I appreciate everybody being nice and saying all the nice comments. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, this almost is working, but there. I want something that has a pitch. I'm actually going to take it down an octave, believe it or not. So I want it to ring out longer. Let's have less noise on. Add some resonance. Cool. Now, what do we put on top of that? No, not a sine wave. Let's go over here. Let's go to sample land. There's so many billions of samples inside of Omnisphere I have yet to use. And I'm just going to spin the wheel, just like we do on Wheel of Fortune. Let's just spin. I don't want the Juno area. Let's go past Juno. Can I make a piano out of that? I could. And it's a unique character to it too. All right, we'll make a new electric piano. So we're gonna want to filter it really heavily with a 24 dB filter. By the way, I'm working hard on the video on filtering. I really want just that unique attack. And then I'll layer that with something else, either synthesizer waveform wise. Let's just say, actually core library, because I don't want to use keyscape. And let's say keyboard. Let's see what we find. Casio, no, not CS80, not Dream Piano. Okay. I like the direction this is going. Sorry, the crash cymbal that caught my sparking idea doesn't work. So let's... There's 18,000, 5 billion sounds. So, cool. I can work with that, my friends. Why are you playing? Stop. Let's go over here. There. I had no idea when I did this YouTube video if I was gonna. I have allergies, so I'm gonna wipe my eyes. If I was gonna come up with something, but this is a happy accident. Did you mention that there might be an upcoming vid on the Roli? Yes. Yes. Hi, Hewitt. Everybody's glad they logged in. I wish there was a synth like a mixture of alchemy and massive. I have thought of making a synthesizer. Hi, Andy S. It's good to see all you guys. Welcome. Yeah, I'm just doing a live stream. Hit the plus button. Make you do the thumbs up. Make sure everybody hits the thumbs up. Because that's cool. It's rough around the corners. I will be doing a video. I have, in fact, right here in front of me. Move my Kleenexes because of my allergies. The Roli. There it is. Oh, it's up there. That's right, because there. Stop. One more. That's what happened. It did this last time. Stop. Uh-oh. I think I'm playing my YouTube video now. I hear the delay. That's what happened. It did this last time. I'm watching myself playback now. Uh-oh. I'll stop that because that latency would be bad. But yeah, Roli is really cool. The main reason I got it, I've talked about just a little bit in the videos. I've only had it for two other videos, but it doesn't work with Omnisphere and those that are not 5D compliant without a lot of work, because the 5D of the Roli, which means velocity, note off, pushing forward, wiggling your finger, all that kind of stuff, does unique things. Maybe we'll do a live stream on Roli. But Omnisphere, each one of those directional motion things is a dimension, and it requires a separate MIDI channel. So it's 5 MIDI channels of data in order to handle all of the stuff that you can be doing. It's per finger. So each finger can be doing radical, crazy things to the sound. I have it in what's called 1D mode. So if I go Roli. Here, check this out. You can see, here it is. It's got all of these directional things. You can go up and down. And if I was to play it, well, here, I'll show you for a second. I love to get off track. You guys know that about me. So if we go over here to Equator, to Roli. Oh, then I want to go over here and tell it to be in multi-mode. MPE on. And then see, the cool thing with this is that you could be playing it and just slide. And you can see here, I'll show you on the screen at the same time. Watch, 2 fingers playing 2 notes. So it's like having a guitar with this rubberized feel to it, so that it's very easy to sound really horrible. I'm kid you not. It's harder to sound good than it is to sound bad, but it's a really cool, unique, different. Here's a guitar. Luckily, there's a slider you can program to control how much. I can turn it all the way off, so I can't. Now the pitch doesn't. If I have pitch on max, just by wiggling my finger, if I show on the Roli interface, but I can turn that slider all the way down. So now it ignores that, so I can play more. And it's very cool. The main reason I got it was not so much because of, well, I want to use it as an instrument, but it was mainly because when I play in my videos, the Roli is quiet, whereas playing on a keyboard is really loud. So when I'm playing something, you know, here if I'm playing here, can't believe it's playing while it's in 5D mode. But you get the idea. So it's cool. It is definitely an unique instrument. And a couple guys that I work with and that I have consulted with and so forth have picked up a Roli since I got one and are enjoying the experience. It does a lot of things you cannot do on your physical keyboard. And so a lot of you are really mad at me right now, I'm sure, because you're going, oh, thanks, you know. Now you're going to have to go buy a Roli, thanks, you know. But if you want an expressive instrument that you use your fingers like a keyboard, so it's better than going and learning to play the guitar. I mean, I tried to play guitar and I never could get past the bloody fingertips and stuff like that. Here, it can give you the expressiveness and that kind of like different human. It's very different than playing on a keyboard, but it's still a keyboard. So I highly recommend it, but I got it mainly because I'm not tonight because I'm programming more, but it was, you don't hear key clunking, and I like that. So I think the Roli is great, highly supported. But I don't know if I'm going to make a library that supports it directly. There's not enough people that really own the Roli yet, and more people need to come on board. Parameter wise, just more plugins besides there's this and there's a couple from FX Expansion, I believe, because they own FX Expansion, which is a very, very smart move on their part. But so for this sound, I'm going to transpose the keyboard down an octave. I need to refine this. And I want to have a little bit of release on it. So we're going to like link. And let's go to the effects. And I'm going to call up one of my Guru presets. These are included with every library I sell. There's 160 different mix presets. So I'm going to say Plucky Synth DD Verb Vibe. So this loads up a limiter, a compressor, delay, and reverb. I don't think I want delay. I want to have EQ, because I might need to shape that a little bit. And then the B layer is the I'm going to move the sample start in some, and I'm going to add randomize to it. Because I want this not to be quite so clunky, because A is going to be my attack. I like that unique attack, remember? And with the clunky attack of this, I didn't hear it as much. So by, let's see, make sure that this didn't. And turn this down. I might need that attack though, because of the application. This is where I get kind of stuck sometimes. If I want to make it as a nice sound, but I have this preset recipe. I'm going to be making this type of a cake, you know? It's got this groove going. It's got this cool bass. So I need to make sure that this supports it. So I think I can't get quite as soft spoken. You know what I mean? And this is the light bulb sample, remember? So, and this is one of my tricks that I use. This cutoff has a lot going on. Instead of increasing this, I'm going to increase it over here as a separate modulation source, because the filter envelope has this velocity on it, and it lets it be more expressive for me. And then I also want to find something to add to this. Maybe it might even be distortion, believe it or not, if I find the right distortion. Something like that. So that I can have this none and then add velocity. There. I just want more ear candy. It's just flat like that, right? And I can velocity to this filter as well. This is just a low pass filter. Control the amount of distortion with the gain. I'm just to find the place where it breaks it and makes it fuzzy. But it's not so loud that it makes the body sound have distortion. So now we're And because the other reason I wanted something on that tom, remember how the tom was originally, oh, I'd have to go over here. Let's also mute. It's just a pitch, right? That was gonna get in the way of the song. So by having it go all over the place with pitch, yeah. Now I need to figure out what I want to do with the mod wheel. Well, I know for one thing, I want Mr. Bow 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 to go away. So to do that, you go right-clicking on this and say modulate this with the wheel in the opposite direction by inverting it. And let's have on the effects. Oh, these don't have any effects yet. Well, I'll do the mastering effects later. I can't tell with headphones what I'm going to need, but I'm going to modulate the intensity of the auxiliary send. I'm going to go to the auxiliary send and go. I use these all the time. You think I made these presets for you guys? Hell no. I made them for myself. I use these all the time because they call up presets of stuff that I kind of want to start with, and then I can go from there. So there's harshness gone. Okay, I don't need the distortion. Okay, but let's have reverb added too. I think I had some distortion on this too. Yeah, no dirt. That'd be cool when it's dark. See? Let's even have it have the distortion, sure. So you can hear it. It gives us some frequencies in the higher harmonic range. So now, cool. I should say this in case I crash, right? You would not believe, my friends, how many thousands of sounds I have lost through data heaven. And so this becomes not a loop, but a groove, GRV. There's 3 types of preset patterns, and this becomes a, I'll put them in here for now. I'll move them around later. A groove. This is the groove version. We'll fill in more details. Groove version. Okay. There. So when I look at the list now on multis, I actually hadn't done this for the first one yet, but here is the kit. Okay, and then earlier tonight, we made the loop with just the arpeggiators playing the drum groove. Okay, and then I split that. I took it from being across the whole keyboard to, excuse me, being just the bottom of the keyboard with Latch. So now it's drum machine, and I changed the pattern. I'm going to modify the kick some. And you hear the pitch in there, right? So we're going to get rid of the pitch. So we're going to turn on the filter. I need to use UVI 3. There. And then to pick up on that attack, so I needed to pop a little more, so I'm gonna there, it sits good in the mix. And I might, let's have some fun. Let's make the piano be an arpeggiator. And we're gonna have it, let's choose some sort of a plugin guru, like a trancey kind of pattern, gives us a fun rhythm, and then change it to be chord. And this is where that trigger stuff becomes really tricky. So you want to right click and tell this to be triggered to 16th notes at this, so that way it's, when I start, it'll be on time. If I have this set to immediate and the drums are on 16th notes, you'll never get it in sync. So if you do use this triggering on the next 16th note or whatever timing thing, make sure they all follow that rule, or else you will end up a sad boy or a girl. Because if I have this set to trigger immediate and I go, there's no way to, it's not locked. If I tried really hard, I could get it to lock, but it's so much easier to say trigger to 16th notes. And now, it locks. So keep that in mind when you're making stuff like this. Last thing I need to do, I need to save these two sounds because they get added to the library as bonus patches. All of the libraries, when you get to OMG volume, oh, I better not touch anything. I don't want to lose the patch. I was going to show you that, we'll get there in a minute. So this is the bass. And it's using the elasitar, right? That's a crazy sound. Yeah, that's the one thing I missed on the Roli is it doesn't have a mod wheel, but actually, no, it's the pitch wheel that's I missed the most. I put my Roli in 1D mode, and I have the first slider when you're in 1D mode can be any controller number you want, and I have a controller 1, so it works as a modulation wheel, and it's great. It works just fine. But there's no pitch bend wheel because pitch is normally something you wiggle your hands up and down with. Which we don't have. So I need to call this the, save this patch as bass. ELAS. This is a DAR snapper. And we're gonna save this to an existing library because I have this already under, in the works, I believe. Do I? OMG, no, I don't. Oh, then I'll put it to user for now. I have to get my OMG Volume 2 library organized because I haven't made bases for it yet. So here is where we'll save it for now. It's, I'm never very good at all this. You're supposed to go through this whole list and click and drag to choose, and it's like, screw it, I don't do that. But this is fun, intense, powerful. Genre, it could be ballad. Sure, you can play a ballad with that. I'm in love with the girl next door. Right? Film, high energy, electronic dance. You could do rock. Yeah, that's rock and roll. Sure. Simple. Author is me. And OMG drums volume 2. And write something catchy later. All right, so there's the bass part saved. And if you notice, when I go to the list now, it has saved with that name. So my other default, I need to save. This is my piano. And I'm going to do a lot more to that, because now that I have a rhythm thing, I want to have it vary. So it's not just sitting there the same. I can do it right now. So let's randomize this. And let's go to this. We should probably... I'm not using this compressor, so I'm going to do something fun with here. Yeah. Modulate this with randomize. Distortion is your friend sometimes. And I never did anything to the mod wheel to the sound, did I? Let's have it do something really fun. That piano sound, we're gonna have it go up with the wheel 1, 2, 5. That equals 1 octave. So watch, go like this. And we'll have it come down softer in velocity and volume while it's doing that. So invert. And then this guy is going to get really snappy. So we're going to modulate this. No, let's not do that, because we already have mod envelope 4 working. Let's have it just bring up some sort of cool noise a little bit. Yeah. So luckily there's this mix, so we can have the mix be dry and then have the mod wheel bring up the mix. So now the mod wheel. And then let's have it get dreamy, something really cool. So I love reverbs that ring out forever, even though you make the reverb go away. So we're going to do my old school trick of that. Have this bring up, and on the auxiliary channel, let's just have a reverb with a really long time, lots of mix, and have this go into this chorus with the delay built into it is just beautiful. And then we'll have it go into ultra chorus. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. So it's dry until I bring up the mod wheel. It has all that on it, so you can I'll figure it out when I get to the fun. Okay, so that's fun. So we'll go save this patch as BPM key What should we call that? You guys want to help me name it? Does Omnisphere have any convolution reverb modules? No, it does not, because everybody else does. It actually does, but it's not reverb in those adult toy. I'll come up with some. I will compromise. We'll call it the tube toy. YouTube toy piano. ARP. We'll call it that. Why not? We'll put that to ARP BPM. Save. This is a keyboard kind of sound, right? So we'll just say that. Mood. Childlike, dramatic, energetic. Where's upbeat? I like upbeat. Genre. Sure, ballad, dance. Not experimental, but. It's so funny because you change the tempo on these things and they can be used in so many different ways. Simple, simple, author, me, and OMG. All right, this wraps it up, guys. My question now, so now I can go over here and I can go save multi, save and overwrite it. Because I've changed the names, so I have to update it or else I'm in trouble. Okay, so someone was asking, name it in honor of your first, yeah, I called it, isn't that a good name for a sound? An adult toy? Or Icy Roads, that's cool. I've worked for Korg as a programmer for 25 years, so I've made many piano programs. Do I watch Portlandia? Sometimes, more in the earlier seasons, but it's a wonderful show. Very poorly, loosely based on some things in Portland, but it's a great premise, and it's made a lot of people move to Portland, which sucks. I meant for the name of the multi, toy with a well, here's the thing. I don't name the multis. I keep them named after the grooves, and it makes it like it's a surprise each time you call up one of these. When you go to OMG Volume 1 and you go to a groove, I don't even know what TorqueBot is going to give me because I don't have space to name it anything and keep the name of where it came from inside a break tweaker. So. It's very similar to this new one, isn't it? How crazy is that? I didn't even realize I was going to call this up. So, what is this sound? Part 7. I think I started with Wide Awake, which is a patch from one of the Omnichill library, but I changed it to be piano sounds and everything. And what sounds is it using? Oh, it's using the piano from OMG Drums Volume 1. How funny. So I don't name them because it would be too hard to do that. But yeah, compare that to this. I mean, it's a different piano sound, but it's a similar in the... Oh, good, they're different. The whole trigger thing is still tricky to get used to. But it's fun to play with. Well, thank you. My goodness. Yes, several of my libraries have tons of keyboard sounds. Keyboards is a passion of mine. So I've been making synthesizer sounds for 28, 29 years since the DX7 and before. I came to Portland, I actually saw the DX7 when it was introduced and released. you go to like Omnichill, I have a lot of interesting keyboard sounds in here. And then the Darko Eternus piano. Dream Eternus. And then the Eternal Pool. You know, so it depends on what library you call up. I have piano sounds. There's a lot of good ones in the Omniverse series. If you want to get the first library you should pick up is Omniverse Volume 1. This is the first library I did, and it has such great... It's got like 300 patches in it. I mean... Tons of BPM stuff, tons of huge basses. I went crazy on the basses because the way they did Omnisphere is they have trillion for bass, and so they didn't make a lot of basses. So the first Omniverse that I did, I made tons of bass. Anyway. Thank you. This is so cool that so many of you joined me for this. Have a great evening. And I will do this again. This is the first one. So I'm curious when I get done and I hit stop, I think it saves it so that it's saved to my whole library. So thank you for joining me for this. You guys were here for the first, what time zone at 12? 12 o'clock Pacific, Los Angeles time. I'm in Portland, Oregon. On the West Coast, and the here I'll type in the URL. So it's www.livestream.com/. That's the URL to see my live streams that I do every Saturday. And this coming Saturday, we're going to be looking at effects. We've done monopoly, which to choose, oscillators, filters. The last one that we did was envelopes and LFOs, which is really fun. And now we're coming up on effects. So I've got to do the filters and I have to do the envelopes and LFOs as YouTube videos. I haven't done that yet. All right. So I will see you guys later. Thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun, very enlightening, and I'm really happy I got YouTube to work. I can't believe it. It's awesome. So I'll see you again. Okay? Hands together, head bowed. Thank you. See you later. End this? Yes.